Good evening, everyone. I am your host, Julie Hedges, and welcome to the Tarot Journey. For this August edition, I'm so glad you are here. Let me take roll call here. We've got Marlene coming in, and we've got everybody filing into the chat room, and so I'm glad to see everybody here this evening. We are going to talk about our spiritual gifts. So, what are your spiritual gifts that you have to share with the world? And what are those gifts that you don't even know that are resources of yours, that you don't even know that you have? So, how can you discover those and embrace those and embody those? So, we're going to have a real good discussion here tonight. So, I welcome all of you aboard. And if you would like to post your comments and questions in the chat room, I really want this to be a dialogue this evening, that we are sharing truly about our spiritual gifts. So I'd love to see you post those in the chat room, and thank you all for coming in this evening. And I'm trying to get these to scroll up on the reactions. And because of the algorithms of Facebook and reaching our friends and our family and those who might be interested, if you would like to take a moment, if you feel led to share this in your group or on your timeline, and welcome others who want to be a part of the tarot journey, I'd love that. So please go ahead and share that in your group or your timeline. Hello, everyone. So I see people coming on in. I appreciate that. We're going to get started this evening by setting sacred space, as we always do. We always set sacred space for the broadcast. I set sacred space. Can everyone hear me all right? I have my earbuds in, but I want to make sure that the microphone is picking me up through the headset, because I just heard it ding over here on my computer. So if somebody can let me know about the sound, if I need to try a different plug, I would. Hello, everyone. We have Becky in the house. We have Connie in the house. We have Rob in the house. Okay, Rob says you can hear me. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. So come on in and make yourselves at home. Make yourselves at home. We're going to have a really powerful discussion tonight, and I really want to share with all of you about your spiritual gifts. And sharing with me what spiritual gifts that you share with the world, and also talk about how we can discover and mine those gifts within ourselves, and how you can identify spiritual gifts that your friends and family may have, that they might not know that they have, and encourage that with them. So I want to start with sacred space. That's something that has always been part of my show. It's been important to me. I always set sacred space for myself and get myself prepared before I come online with you. But when we are all together here, we are in spirit. We are in a community. And this is soul work that we are doing together. We're talking about the tarot. We're talking about astrology. We're talking about our spiritual gifts. But we are doing true spiritual work. So, excuse me, I always want to set sacred space. And so if you would join me wherever you are in the world and whenever you are tuning into the tarot journey, because you might be live here with us right now. You might be tuning in from work when you have a break. You might be tuning in late at night after all of the kids go to bed and all of the homework is done. The school has already started here where I am. So wherever you are and whenever you are, join us in sacred space and ask if you would just take a deep breath. And again for me. And put your feet on the floor, because we're going to do something a little bit different for sacred space tonight. I'm going to share some crystal energy with you. So I'm going to bring up my wonderful little rose quartz heart there and give us some crystal energy, but also sharing a mantra with you. Well, it's more of a song, but I think of it as a mantra. I think mantras are memorable, repeatable words and phrases that are uplifting and empowering. So anything can be a mantra, even your favorite pop song. So Spirit told me that I'm going to be sharing this one with you this evening. So we're going to do some little crystal energy with Reiki, and I'm going to be sharing this mantra with you. But as you are settling in, have your feet on the floor, and you've done your deep breathing and you're settling in, I would ask you to, whatever your worries, whatever your issues, whatever your challenges, whatever your problems, whatever little things that are just niggling in your brain, if you would just fold it up and put it on the shelf just for our time together. Or wad it up and throw it under the bed just for our time together, to give you this opportunity to be fully in your soul self and your soul work that we are doing here together this evening. So hello, everyone filing in. I'm going to take roll call after our sacred space. So thank you for everyone coming on in this evening and sharing live in our sacred space. So if you would either close your eyes or focus on the screen, I'm sharing the rose quartz energy there, and I also have my own rose quartz heart here. So you can focus on the screen and you can just sit back and listen to this mantra. I call it a mantra. You might recognize it when I start, but I think it's going to speak some healing for all of us who have been riding the roller coaster of challenges on all levels, mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual. So giving some rose quartz, compassion, forgiveness energy, and this mantra. So deep breath in. Try not to get worried, try not to turn on to problems that upset you. Oh, don't you know everything's all right? Yes, everything's fine. And we want you to sleep well tonight. Let the world turn without you tonight. If we try, we'll get by, so forget all about us tonight. Sleep and I shall soothe you, calm you and anoint you, myrrh for your hot forehead. Oh, don't you feel everything's all right? Yes, everything's fine, and it's cool and the ointment sweet for the fire in your head and feet. If you try, you'll get by, so forget all about us tonight. If we try, we'll get by, so forget all about us tonight. Maybe you have recognized that mantra, that song from Jesus Christ Superstar. But that is one that the Spirit gave me this evening to share, and to share some crystal energy too. The whole idea of everything's all right. Everything's fine. Just focus on the good things. If you remember that show, Jesus Christ Superstar, written by Tim Rice and Andrew Lloyd Webber, it follows the last week of Jesus of Nazareth's life before he was crucified. And so that was a pretty stressful time. So in that musical, and so Spirit shared with me that song today, that, you know what? People need that. People need to know and relax and just settle into some good stuff. Some good stuff. Rob played the bass for Jesus Christ Superstar at the Civic Theater. That's really cool. That's really cool. Roll call. Thank you for showing up tonight. There's Neshi in the house. There's Meg in the house. That picture of that painted rock that I posted earlier on Facebook, that was, I think, one of those hide them in plain sight kind of fun rock things that cities do. I know we have it here in Evansville, but I found that in New Hampshire when I went up to visit my dear friend Meg last year. Yeah. Polly Joe is in the house of Trinity Healing Sanctuary, and I'm proud to announce that R&J Chakra Jewelry, which is one of the things that I do with my business partner, we create genuine gemstone and crystal jewelry and pendulums and empowerment products. And we are partnering with Trinity Healing Sanctuary to open people up to some new chakra jewelry and gemstones. So thank you very much, Polly Joe. Check out Polly Joe. Can you put your website in the chat? I want to get that up, everybody. And we have Maria. Hi, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Connie says, sounds good. Good. I was worried about that. Maybe the sound on my computer was up too high. And Becca is saying hello. And my cousin Marlene, she should be tuning in here any moment. We've got some more coming in. Agnes, I'm going to call you Agnes because I'm sorry I won't be able to really pronounce your name well. So please forgive me there. Mary, welcome. Linda, welcome. And Rosemary, welcome. Welcome. Yes, it is so exciting. Jewelry is on sale at Polly Joe's school, so I'm very appreciative of that. Oh, here we go. Here we go. www.trinityhealingsanctuaries.com. Check it out. I went on the website just very recently, and all of the things that she has available, all of the healing modalities, and this John of God healing bed. Wow. You need to get up and work with Polly. Oh, you got it. Right on. Right on. Yay. So let's go ahead and get into our discussion this evening of spiritual gifts. What are our spiritual gifts? And I have a little quiz. For us. You don't need pencil and paper. You might be able to answer this without writing anything down. So here is our quiz. Our spiritual gifts test. So if you say yes to these questions, then you have spiritual gifts. Do you breathe? Do you eat? Do you sleep? That's the spiritual gifts test. Yes, it's right down there. You can see very tiny. It says tongue in cheek. Yes. Being silly. Oh, speaking of, right here, 2 out of 3. 2 out of 3 on the spiritual gifts test. So the whole point of the spiritual gifts test was just to say we all have gifts. We all have gifts in all areas of our lives. Oh, now we're gonna get specific. Polly Joe's asking Rob, which 2 does he have? Linda, yes, yes, and yes. Awesome. Awesome. Mary's saying, yay. Yes, thank you all for really being part of this fun energy tonight. So with our spiritual gifts, if you breathe, if you eat, if you sleep, if you are a sentient being, and I'm going to say that I think those of us who are gathered here this evening, and especially those who are indigenous cultures, believe that all creation is sentient. So that means Grandmother Earth. That means humankind. That means the winged ones, the swimming ones, the creepy crawlers, the tree people, the stone people, all of it are sentient beings. So they might breathe differently, eat differently, sleep differently. You guys are having so much fun in the chat. But we all have spiritual gifts, all of us. And just because your spiritual gifts may manifest differently than mine or some of the others in the chat room tonight, or some of the others watching and listening all over the world, your gifts are your gifts, and they are meant to be used. They are meant to be shared. They are meant to bless all humankind and all sentient beings. So I'm glad we've got 3 out of 3 for a lot of people. Do you breathe? Do you eat? Do you sleep? Then you have spiritual gifts. And I'm speaking specifically tonight about, I'm going to start talking about what we would call the clairs. The clairs. C-L-A-I-R. It's a French word that means clear. That's what it means in English. But I define it as a clear perception or sensation or visual imagery or other ways of sensing. So if you have a definition of clair that you like, that you use, that you share with your students and your clients, please let me know. I want to put it up on the screen. This is what I think of when I think of clair, and try to explain it to somebody who is very new to the term. I think of clair in those terms: clear perceiving, clear sensing, clear visualizing, and it's other ways of sensing as well. So please share that. Hi, Natalie. Welcome. I'm so glad that you are here. So let's talk a little bit about the clairs. Here we go. The clairs: clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, clairosmesience, clairgustance, claircognizance. Now, I have seen some lists online that show 12 and more of these clair gifts, but these are the ones that I really am more familiar with, and I have seen manifest, and I have had them manifest in my life. And so these are the kind of general ones that I use. But again, if you have a different definition of clair that you would like to share, okay, we have clair. I'm sorry, I have to get real close to see this. Clairolfactorance. That is what I call clairosmesience. I've seen it written like that. So olfactorance meaning smell, right? smell. So let me go through these and see how it lines up with some of the ones that that you are thinking of out there. So thank you, Rob, for sharing this. I'm going to put it up again. Clairofactorance. I have honestly not come across that particular word, but with olfactory, you know, that's your smell. I think that's what that means, and I am calling it on this list Clairosmesience. That's the way that I have learned that term. So let me start at the beginning, and thank you for adding that in there, Rob. So clairvoyance. When we say voyeur, sight. So clairvoyance is clear seeing. Clairaudience, so auditory, so hearing. Clairsentience. So think of sensation. When I think of clairsentience, I can think of tactile sensation, which also gets into psychometry. So people might pick up a set of keys or a crystal, or pick up a wallet or a article of clothing, let's say, and get impressions off of that comes under the umbrella, I think, of clairsentience. Another way that clairsentience manifests for me would be chills up and down my spine, tingling, hot, cold, denseness of energy, especially when I am doing Reiki on someone and I feel kind of just a dense energy where I'm able to go smooth over someone's body, and then I hit a spot that's like kind of weighs my hand down if I'm doing like a bison scan. So clairsentience that way. And clairsentience can manifest with emotional sensations. So the sudden welling up of tears, grief, or what we might call holy laughter, getting those clear emotional signals that come through. And also we have clairosmesience. So similar to the clairofactorance that Rob shared. So clairosmesience is clear smelling. I have experienced that. Sometimes it is pleasant, and sometimes it isn't. But I do have a friend who experiences the clairosmesience, or the clear smelling, when Holy Mother Mary is come into the room, or come into her field, smells of roses or rose essential oil. And that is an announcement of Holy Mother Mary being in presence, being in concert with her. And we also have clairgustance. So clairgustance would be, yes, Meg, roses and the Mother Mary. Excellent. Yes. Clairgustance would be clear tasting. I have experienced that one time in my life. In my walk, I have experienced clairgustance once. So anyone else have experience with these gifts? How do they manifest for you? Rob is saying, if you ever watched the gangster movie and heard the remark, I smell a rat. Is that what clairosmesience is? I smell a rat? I tell you, I don't want to smell a rat. I don't know what they smell like, but they're just unpleasant. I don't want to smell a rat. Sorry about that. So clairgustance, the idea of tasting, clear tasting. Now, I have a friend who is a psychic medium, and one of the ways that clairgustance manifests for her is that she shared with us in class that anytime someone is going to get married, she tastes buttercreams. That's very interesting. So buttercreams. I'm not exactly sure what those are. I think those are very popular kind of mint little candies that you typically get at a wedding. They kind of put them out with the nuts, and then you have the mints, and then you have these other things, right? The hors d'oeuvres. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure what buttercreams are, but she says she tastes buttercreams when someone is going to get married. Agnes is saying, suddenly smelling roses means Mother Mary visited me. I'm so very new to all of this. It definitely can be. It definitely can be. If you are noticing this pattern of I'm smelling roses and I'm thinking of Mother Mary, or I'm seeing an icon of Mother Mary, and therefore I can associate with that. Yeah, it definitely could be. Krista, thank you for joining, Krista. I know that you are hard at work and you are tuning in on your break. Krista says she's clairvoyant, clairaudient, and somewhat claircognizant. You are very gifted, my dear. You are very, very gifted. Yes. So thank you for sharing your gifts tonight. Becca says she feels a tap on her head when someone comes in. Oh. So that would be a sense for me of clairsentience, actually feeling that. So feeling a physical sensation, feeling an emotional sensation, those kinds of things. Neshi is saying, smelling Old Spice. When my dad's spirit is around, I smile and say, hi, Dad. That is so awesome. I love that, Neshi. Thank you for sharing that. That is so beautiful. Old Spice. Chris is saying, Clairsentience sounds interesting. It can be. It can be. Just like Neshi sharing about the Old Spice when her dad's spirit is around. I'll tell you my experience with Clairaudience. I was in a class one time, and we were doing a journey. And this particular journey, I went to the moon. And so they were playing music on the moon. They were playing Kool and the Gang's Celebration. So they were grooving it up on the moon. And I also smelled what the moon smells like. And if any of you have ever had one of those, I guess you call it an ozone air machine. It kind of makes a clicking sound and it blows out, and it's supposed to clean the air and supposed to be hypoallergenic and all that business. I had one of those, and it had a plate in it, and you had to clean all that. But it makes this very, I just call it the clean smell. So somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's like an ozone machine, but it has a very, very clean smell, and that's what the moon smelled like to me. So that is one of my experiences with the Clairosmesians. And lastly, we get to the Claircognizance. And this is, cognition, cognitive, your brain. So clear knowing. Clear knowing. You know what you know, just like ring-a-ding-a-ding, somebody's on the phone. Oh, I just froze. Okay, I'm back. Does everybody see me okay? So claircognizance is clear knowing. Ooh, Agnes, like the air after the rain. Yeah, very clean smell. Clean smell. And Chris is saying, I've used an ozone machine. Did I get that wrong? Ozone, oops, let me take that back. Ozone is O3 as opposed to O2, which we breathe. Is that the right word for it, that machine, Rob? Yeah. Linda's had a really interesting experience. My aunt that passed, a box of jewelry fell off the dresser twice. Maybe your aunt was really trying to get your attention about some jewelry. Maybe gifting you with that jewelry. Rob says, where did that go? Rob says it's highly toxic and used to kill bacteria and viruses. Oh, on the ozone. On the ozone, you mean? Okay. Yeah, I used it for nasal allergies for a few years, but it's since conked out, and I haven't done anything with it. Negative ions. There we go. It always made this clicking sound. So in that meditation, I had the Clairaudience, and that's what the moon smelled like. So we have these clair gifts. Oh, here we have Rhea, a new listener. Received a warning through Clairaudience once. I was cleaning and forgot my bottle of Pine Sol on the coffee table. My toddler was doing his thing, and when I went to the kitchen and started dishes, I got an overwhelming smell of Pine Sol. I checked my immediate surroundings, and it smelled so strong. Then it dawned on me, the bottle is on the coffee table. I ran to check, and my toddler was just approaching the bottle. Oh, I was so grateful and said thank you to my spirit guides. Wow. That is a really cool story. Thank you, Rhea. Yeah. So your guides really were on it to help you thwart something, terrible from happening. So thank goodness there. Thank you for sharing. I love to hear these stories of how your gifts are manifesting. So let's talk a little bit about some other gifts. And I tell you, I've got my sheet here, so I actually have to read this so I get it exactly right. But this comes from the Bible, actually. The Bible is from the Christian tradition, from the Jewish tradition, but also is steeped in a lot of mystery teaching. So just because this comes from a Bible, I'm giving that caveat that this can apply among many sacred texts. I just have a background with the Bible and Christianity, so that's why this text kind of made itself known to me, but I think it can apply among many spiritual traditions. So I'm taking this specifically from the New International Version, and this is from 1 Corinthians 12 about spiritual gifts in the Bible. So here we've talked about all these clairs. Let me put this back up. So here we talk about all these clairs. But what about some other gifts that don't have these fancy names that sometimes we can't even pronounce? Clairaudience. I hadn't heard that, and I had to really listen to what that was. So these fancy names, what are some other spiritual gifts? And again, this is from the Bible, New International Version, 1 Corinthians. To one there is given through the Spirit a message of wisdom. So wisdom. To another, a message of knowledge. So knowledge. By means of the same Spirit. To another, faith. And another, gifts of healing. To another, miraculous powers. To another, prophecy. To another, distinguishing between spirits. To another, speaking in different kinds of tongues. And the interpretation of tongues. So all of those 9 gifts, I only have one hand that I can show you. But what about all of those gifts? Let me share what Linda wrote. When my sister passed, she came to me as a yellow butterfly dancing around me. I love that. I love how the other side really uses nature and natural messages to get our attention. I love that. Thank you for sharing that. So these spiritual gifts that we find in the Bible, wisdom, knowledge, healing, miraculous powers, prophecy, distinguishing between spirits, speaking in different kinds of tongues, and interpretation of tongues. Well, you know, they might be called something a little bit different in the English language, but I think some of those gifts can be folded in among these clair gifts, right? Wisdom. And according to the Catholic Catechism, wisdom is a view taken by the mind and experienced by the heart. So this is some from Wikipedia, but as noted by the Catechism of the Catholic Church, the gift of wisdom, a view taken by the mind and experienced through the heart. Understanding, the spiritual gift of understanding, helps one to relate all truths to a supernatural purpose. I love that. So understanding that we are one human community connected with all of life. And another spiritual gift called counsel, the gift of counsel, functioning as a supernatural intuition, this says. A supernatural intuition. The gift of fortitude or courage and the ability to endure challenging situations, to push through, to endure them. The spiritual gift of knowledge, according to the Catechism, is seeing things from God's perspective. Ooh, isn't that hard sometimes? Seeing things through the eyes of spirit. That's what we're called to do. That's what we do when we access the Akashic records. Isn't that right, Meg? Dr. Linda Howe has taught us that we are seeing things through the eyes of spirit, through the eyes of the one who has created us, and how that soul is woven throughout many lifetimes and many experiences and many human challenges and lessons and blessings. Also, the spiritual gift of piety, which really means reverence, according to this source, and the gift of the fear of the Lord, which really says is wonder. So what spiritual gifts and other gifts do you have that you share with the world, that you use every day? I'm going to say that for everyone tuning in tonight, that the gift of understanding and the gift of wisdom are prevalent. Also the gift of piety, meaning that gift of reverence for all life, reverence for one another, reverence for even the process of living. And those of us who work in these spiritual realms, who are clairaudient and claircognizant and clairvoyant and use those spiritual gifts, we are able to discern the different tongues, the different languages, because accessing those dimensions and those realms, sometimes there are not any words. They're just sounds, or they're pictures, images, or even feelings, even just feelings that are discerning. And the gift of prophecy, most definitely, the gift of prophecy, being able to see. I think of prophecy, and share in the chat room what you think about this. I think the gift of prophecy is about understanding potentialities, being able to discern from energies that are present, like seeing the patterns of the clouds and knowing, what is the weather coming in? How long is it going to take for the rain to start falling? You know, really keeping track of those energies. So what do you think of that perception of the gift of prophecy, being able to discern potentialities? Because as a worker in the spiritual realm myself, that's what I tell people when I am in a reading, that right now the energies surrounding your question or concern are presenting in this way. So the possibilities that this is in play or coming up to bat or just passing through are very high with this, and this. But I would never tell anyone that 100% this is the way it's going to be for you. I personally think that is irresponsible, because that person's path, that person's spirit, that person's intention, that person's integrity has a lot more to say about what happens than I do. So that's just personally what I think about that. Rob says, to know the foundation upon which something rests. That is the definition of understanding. So the spiritual gift of understanding, thank you for sharing that, literally means to stand under. Well, if you're going to stand under something, you want to make sure it doesn't fall on you. So to understand something, you have enough faith that it's not going to fall down and crush you. That's a very interesting way to think about that when you think about it in literal terms of standing under. So therefore, you know the foundation upon which something rests. Excellent. Excellent. So how can you... Thank you, Connie. Yeah, I like that definition of understanding. How can you discover some of your unexplored gifts? If you don't know that you have some gifts, or that you would like to explore some things a little bit more that are in line with your personality and the way that you interact with the world, how do you do that? Well, for myself, I offer to people as an evolutionary astrologer, if you work with your natal chart, and you can pull your natal chart up online as long as you have the date, time, and location of where you were born, then you can pull up your natal chart online and it will show you some markers that can help you determine your gifts. So your sun sign, for example, your sun sign, that's the sign in which the sun was beaming through at the moment you were born. So that means you're a Taurus or a Leo or a Gemini or Capricorn, whatever you are, that's your sun sign, representative of your personality. So what does your personality like? How does your personality shine in the world? If you are a Capricorn, do you like things very orderly and organized? And are you responsible? And are you the de facto leader of groups that you are in? Everybody kind of looks to you to maintain order. If you are a Leo, are you very much glamorous and glitzy and love to be the life of the party and kind of get things all started up? If you are a Scorpio, are you an alluring, charming, magical type of person? So those are just some very basic personality markers of some of those signs that I shared. So your personality self through the natal chart can present some information. And then your moon sign. Your moon sign is very, very important in astrology. Your moon sign is your emotional guidance system. So your body is the bus, and your emotional guidance system is what is driving the bus and how you interact with the world. So it very much is an important force in your life of your emotional wisdom and your emotional guidance. So from the perspective of your soul, which is linked to your emotional guidance system, what are those likes and attributes and strengths? So knowing your moon sign and studying your moon sign is important. The other thing that I would say about your natal chart is understanding your soul mission. Your soul mission might be quite different from the job that you do for a paycheck. It might very well be. It might be very different from the job that you do as a parent or a teacher or a caregiver for a loved one. Your soul mission is what your soul came here to accomplish. And just like Ethan Hunt in Mission Impossible says, your mission, should you choose to accept it, is, and that comes through the natal chart. And that's one thing that I talk to people about when I do astrology readings with them, is your soul mission, what you came here to do as a soul, and how you are doing that in the world. And a couple of those pieces are you are doing that through being your sun sign, and also through embodying and understanding your moon sign. Oh, Connie's sharing. My foundation is I am the Christ consciousness of my soul. That's beautiful. Beautiful. But a couple of other ways real quick, because I want to get to some readings for us, is doing some personality inventories. You can go online and take free personality tests. The Enneagram, that's one. I've taken that before, or the Myers-Briggs. The Myers-Briggs, that's the one that has if you're an introvert or an extrovert, or you're judging, or you're intuitive. Let me see, I have these written down. You're sensing and intuitive, thinking and feeling, judging and perceiving. That, for myself, I am an INTJ in the Myers-Briggs. According to, oh, thanks for getting that. There's Myers-Briggs personality test there if you wanted to go online and take it. There are free ones all over the net. So I'm an INTJ, and that's here's another site that is 1% of the population is the INTJ. So according to the Myers-Briggs, I'm pretty doggone rare. And another one that I have taken that I really appreciate, I've taken it recently, is from clinical psychologist Jordan Peterson, and he calls it Understanding Yourself. And it's based on 5 key points of your personality: your openness to experience, your conscientiousness, your introversion or extroversion, and agreeableness, and neuroticism. And neuroticism, I know that's kind of a funny word, but according to him, it simply means your proclivity toward negative emotion. That's what he defines as neuroticism. So how likely are you to default to a negative emotion when something happens? That's neuroticism. Krista says she's an INFJ on the Myers-Briggs. Yeah, isn't it fun to kind of figure those things out? Because when you know your personality, it can help you decide what things are going to promote you and what things are going to drain you. Like, I am an introvert. I know you might not believe me. Here is the link to, right here, the link to Jordan Peterson's understandmyself.com personality assessment. Now, the Jordan Peterson one is $10. But, you know, I've spent $10 before, and I thought it was worth it for $10 to find out about those 5 key personality traits. I just kind of lost my place. Okay. So there we have about taking personality tests, and you can know what is promoting of you in your personality type and what is going to be draining of you. For me, I'm an introvert. I know that might sound funny. Here I am on the radio, and I sing and I perform, and I'm with people a lot. Yes, I am. But I also need my alone time. I totally need to just be alone. And I do that with quiet time and meditation. Rob says an INTP, a very rare personality type. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, mine is more rare. I'm 1% of the population. So I know that we've done a lot about talking about our gifts. And so I am happy now to open up the floor for some readings. If anybody would like a card tonight, and I'm going to use the, let's see here. I'm going to use the Universal Weight deck. So the Universal Weight was written by Arthur Edward Waite and illustrated by Pamela Coleman. And it's kind of the little black dress of the tarot. So it's very classic. And the symbolism is very classic and very pure. So here we've got the tarot. And if you would like a card tonight, I will pull a card about, well, it's just going to be general. How's that? Just going to be general. And if it pops through for me from Spirit about your spiritual gifts, I will give that too. Okay? But Spirit said it's just going to be a general reading. And first up, we have Linda. I'm shuffling. I shuffle till they pop out. That's how Spirit tells me that it's ready. It pops out. So I might just be sitting here shuffling all the time. I'm shuffling. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. For you, Linda, we have the Justice card. Oops, let me get that out of the glare there. Justice. Justice sitting on her throne. Justice is all about balance. So, time to get things balanced. And one thing that's coming through for you as a spiritual gift is the gift of wisdom and claircognizance. So even before you open a document, do you work with like legal documents, law clerk, paralegal, stuff like that? So even before you open a document, you know what it is. Even if it's in legalese, you know the meaning of it. That's what I'm getting for you. Ooh. That was yours, Linda. I'm sorry, that was yours, Linda. There you go. I'm sorry I didn't put the name up. Okay, Holly Joe. Holly Joe, you got it, sister. Of Trinity Healing Sanctuaries. Little Miss World Traveler all over the East Coast. Going to all these healing fairs. Oh, I love this. This is the world. Let me get that closer. Oh, there you go. And that Brad Paisley song is coming through for me, that baby, you are the world. And what this is telling me is being born again anew. So coming through here is this laurel wreath. Can also be construed as the Ouroboros, the snake eating its tail. And so here we have this portal, this birth portal. So being reborn again. And there's a new type of claircognizance coming through for you. And the only way I can describe it is this. So I guess it's a combination of clairsentience and claircognizance, but like a vibration through your bones and your spine. So connecting with Mother Earth, like when a bell rings and you got that vibration of that, but it's like your bones and your spine are the bell ringing. Very interesting. Very interesting. Okay, Agnes. Yes. I might go over a little bit, so just watch for your name if you have to go. I understand. Just watch for your name. I want to get as many as we can. Agnes. And the cards are really wanting to be precise tonight. Okay. Here we go. The Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles. Meaning being very sure of your resources. You know, there's a speech in the play Hamlet where Polonius, that's the father of Laertes, he's the college kid who's going to go off to college, and he makes this long speech, and he says, neither a borrower nor a lender be, meaning take care of your stuff. So old Polonius, even though he was half crazy, I think he was pretty spot on with that. Neither a borrower nor lender be. So taking a real good stock of your resources, and that's resources of your money and your time. Definitely your time, your money and your time, and how you spend that on people. Spend that on people. And your clairsentience, your hands. Your hands, you touch things and you know things. Connie, yeah, let's get you a card, Miss Connie. Shuffling, 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 shuffling. I have to shuffle until one pops out and tells me that it's the one. So here we go. Here we go, Connie. Ooh, I like this one. This is the Star. The Star. And what's coming through right now is the song, I Only Have Eyes for You. It says, are there stars out tonight? I don't know if it's cloudy or bright. So I only have eyes for you. That's the song that's coming through for you. But the stars, wish upon the star. Literally, wish upon the star. And when you see little flashes, in your periphery, I mean, of course, you know, get your physical eyes checked if you need to, but those flashes are angelic presences and geometric patterns that are making themselves known to you is what I'm getting on that. Krista, yeah, let's get you a card today. Shuffling, shuffling, shuffling. Oh, interesting. Okay. You've got the Four of Pentacles as well. The Four of Pentacles. And with this is managing your time. So it's less about managing what you do for other people, but managing your own time. So the stack of projects that you have somewhere, maybe it's a physical list, maybe it's just all in your head. Maybe it's, you know, the laundry here and the dishes over there and the whatever, those lists of projects. Go ahead and schedule them just like you would schedule your work projects. And then, you know, like at the end of your shift, when you punch out, you're done. So do the same thing with the rest of your life. So you have a list of projects, you schedule it, but if you get to the end of the day, you're done, and you're done. You don't have to push yourself to exhaustion and stay up late. There's no homework in life that has to get done. There's no reason that you have to stay up till 3 o'clock in the morning to get the laundry done. None. Zero. Zip. That's what Spirit wants me to say. Yeah. And if you schedule your time like that with the life part of your life, then more of your spiritual gifts will have room to blossom in you. Yeah, that's what they want to say. Hi, Melissa. Would you like a card tonight? Give me a shout out, yes or no there, and let me know. Rob would like a card. Definitely. Let's do that. I know I'm going over a little bit, so put your name on the list if you would like a card. There we go. Okay. For you, Rob, it is the Lovers card. The Lovers of the Tarot is all about balance. It's about choice and balance. So the right hand needs to know what the left hand is doing. So key communication within yourself is primary right now. And I know you understand this as a Gemini, but bridging the intention with the what is together. So bridging those two. Choice, making sure you are aligned on both of those. And what's coming through for you is claircognizance. Just a clear knowing, and trust that. It might manifest as a clairaudience right before you get something. So I guess they're combined. And what I'm getting is like a snap or a click. Not quite a ting like a bell, but more of a snap or a click, a clap or a click or something like that in your ear, probably your left ear, before new information comes through. That's what I'm getting. So kind of a combination of those two. Let's see here. Mary Ellen's here. Yay, Mary Ellen. Let me put your name up there. Yes, I would be glad to get a card for you. And I love that little doggy face. That little doggy face is so sweet. So sweet. Shuffling, shuffling, shuffling. Okay. Here you go, Mary Ellen. The Three of Wands. The Three of Wands. This is about taking a trip. This is about taking a trip. So go ahead and pack your bags. Get your passport ready. I'm feeling that it's a trip over the sea. Either the inland sea of the Great Lakes or like a river cruise or something along those lines. Maybe 3 or 4 days. Are you going on a cruise? Are you going to the Mediterranean? Taking a trip on the high seas. So go ahead and do that. And what I'm feeling for you, Mary Ellen, is automatic writing. Automatic writing. So pulling up your computer or doing it the old-fashioned way, getting a notepad and a pen, and just getting started with that. So what I've been told and what I've read about this is when you kind of ask a question to your guides, and then for automatic writing, you put the instrument in your non-dominant hand. So for me, it's my right hand, and just let it go. At first, it might look like scribbles or lines or some messy mess, but as you kind of get in the groove with your guides and opening up those channels, then it can come through as words or phrases, or might even be shorthand at first, but something that you will know. But I'm going to say that it is automatic writing for you. Rhea, I would like one too, please. Yeah, we will do that. Yeah. Interesting. Okay, here we've got the world. Here we've got the world for you. And this one is coming through as being grounded. So you've been doing a lot of floating out there in life. A lot in your head. A lot in your head. It's time to put the ideas in your head. Put feet on your dreams. That's what I call it. Put feet on your dreams. Go ahead and move along as if it's happening right now. Giving gratitude, but putting feet to your dreams. Actually doing it. So if you see yourself with a new job, then doing some tasks like this dream of a new job that you have, right? So putting feet to your dreams and mastering your manifesting power. That's what's coming through for you, Rhea. Melissa, yes, we can do a reading for you. I'm going to have to scroll up and see what else we've got here. Okay. Here we have for you, Melissa, the Five of Swords. The thing that comes up with the Five of Swords for me is gossip. Kind of being left out of the group. Gossip. But I tell you what I found in my life is that lots of people have opinions. Lots of people have opinions, but I never confuse an opinion with critical thinking. I know it hurts and it stings to be left out, but how integrous are those people? And yes, you can trust your clairaudience. What you are hearing is right. So this kind of gossip and slander and kind of nitpicky negativity, yeah, you are hearing it. You are hearing it right. And you are being called in that situation to be the integrous one and to not spread the gossip. So to be the example, to be the leader. Yes. Oh, Polly Joe is saying you can also do lifepurpose.com for personality-based life purpose. Ooh, I like that. Check that out, everybody. Check it out. Agnes says, thank you. Polly Joe says, nice. Yes, thank you. Connie says, wonderful. Okay, we've got Janine would like a card. Yes, yes, yes. Anybody else up on deck here? We've got Janine. There we go. Janine. Okay. Okay. Here we have the Five of Cups. The Five of Cups indicates some disappointment. Some disappointment, but what's coming through is the need for healing. The need for calling on your inner resources of love and patience. So two attributes that are emotions. So calling in love and patience for bodily healing. That's what I'm feeling right now. And clairsentience, especially with your hands. So do you work with crystals? Do you mix essential oils? That's what's coming through for you. A clairsentience with your hands, with your touch. With your touch. Just saying, girl, you know I'm guilty of that. Woo. Yeah. Yep, I got. Did I get you, Jeannie? Jeannie. Let's see here. I'm shuffling. Thank you all for hanging out with me. Ah, Ace of Wands, inspiration. Are you trying to write a new book? Are you trying to write a novel? Are you trying to get together like a teaching workshop or seminar or something along those lines? Inspiration. Meditate and it will come to you. Inspiration. And really touch base with your angels. They're doing a lot of work with you in the middle of the night in your dream time. So they're kind of tooling you up. So if you wake up and you feel like, oh man, what's happening with my back? Ooh. Or I've got ringing in my ears or something along those lines, just know that the angels are working on you at night. Still take care of yourself, check yourself out if you need to go to the chiropractor or your physician, but that's what I'm getting there. Yeah. All righty. All righty. Anywhere. Thank you, Neshi. She's put up my website for, yes, I do readings and healing sessions for people all over the world. It's forsoulempowerment.com. And I am a contributing writer for Star Nations magazine. And that is such a joy and a privilege. I write the tarot journey and astrology column. It's kind of combined. And this one that I'm writing for September is going to be a preview of the upcoming Venus retrograde that starts in October. Yes, I know it's going to be September, but we've got some things to prepare for that. And so I want to start sharing it with you early so you can work on that early. Okay. Francisco Jorge. A card for work and career. And then I'm probably going to have to sign out for the night. Interesting. This has popped out for you, Jorge. This is the Devil card, but don't worry. It's not an evil card. It's not a bad card. All of the cards in the tarot are good cards. This might look a little bit alarming, though. The Devil card for work and career. I'm seeing stuck, like a dead-end situation that you are as high on the promotion status as you can go. I'm also feeling some restructuring there so that, how do I want to say this? So that whatever your current job title is, it's going to be changed, and the pay grades are going to be changed so that kind of everyone is down a rung. That's the best way that I can say that. So if you are thinking about making a jump to a different company, I think your industry, the industry that you're in, is very supportive of your gifts and talents, but maybe just a different location. Because I'm feeling like what you're doing right now is getting ready to change kind of in the backwards way. Okay, so I've come to the end here of all who have flagged out and said they wanted a reading. And I thank you all for joining me for this very uplifting discussion of life on the tarot journey and our spiritual gifts. I'm going to put this back up here again for our spiritual gifts. And as I always close our show, may the peace that surpasses all human understanding be with each and every one of you. Om Shanti and good night.